go.
Hello, sci-fi gangsters. This is a show where we talk about science fiction, comic books, video games, but really it's just an excuse for me to catch up with my friends, old and new.
Old and new.
I'm Anthony, our media scholar and person. And look, before we even begin, we have to address what's happening here. Acid has a surprise for us.
I do have a surprise.
It's not in camera right now. It's not, which is this is very troublesome. The surprise is not in camera, but he wants to show us. Okay, go ahead, Acid.
Okay.
What the surprise is.
So around December, around the Christmas holiday, my children asked for a certain thing from Santa Claus. Well, I wanted to show one of them off today. Her name is Katie. If I can, hang on. Oh, there we go. There she is.
Yay.
Our little guinea pig, one of them.
Another guinea pig. How many guinea? Is this another guinea pig? Didn't you have guinea pigs before?
We did not have guinea pigs before. We have two guinea pigs.
Okay.
This is Katie. The other one is Penny. She's a little darker. This one's actually very rambunctious. The other one, they've gotten bigger. It's really weird. When you feed them, they grow. It's crazy. But I know kids are the same way. But I wanted to show them off. At least this one for now. She's really, she's a wild one. They make crazy sounds. Both of them are females. We've had a really decent time with them, just kind of hanging out with them, holding them. I would hold her up a little more, but I'm afraid she's just going to jump out and run across the floor. But yeah, there she is.
Did you make one of those elaborate little mazes for them? The tubes that go up and.
Well, you can't do that. Their backs are not for that. These are not like hamsters or anything like that. So you can't do wheels. You can't do anything like that with them. But you can do we just put in the oatmeal Quaker Oats, the big the big thing that the Quaker Oats come in. If you take the bottom out of that and the top, it makes just basically a huge toilet paper roll that they can fit in and just kind of go through and that kind of stuff. And she loves it. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, kind of. But she's a little scared right now. But
yeah, is it true that you can frighten them to death? You have to.
I don't know. She gets really happy. Both of them get really happy, and when they do, it's something called popcorning, and they jump. When a cat gets scared, they just jump up real high. They kind of do that, but they only do that when they are really happy and excited, but not scared. If they're scared, we got little fake tree stumps, little small tree stumps that they go hide in. But yeah, so I figured she'd like to make her sci-fi gangsta's debut. She really loves X-Men, if you didn't know that.
Okay, well there you go.
She's a huge fan of Gambit. Can you tell?
She does like Gambit.
She loves Gambit. Yeah, she loves it. Okay, she's trying to get away now, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go take her back.
You hide your guinea pig, which sounds kind of dirty now that I just said it. But you hide your guinea
Yep,
pig.
you'll take care of that.
And come back. By the way, so I've had a couple people who've watched the show. They've watched about 30 seconds of the show, and they already have notes. So one thing that they said that we should have is time codes. So I'm going to start adding time codes so you can skip ahead to the actual topics that we had planned on talking before. Right now, what we do is we want to catch up with each other. We have Jeremy Shepard, AcidTrain just left, and then our guest, the first time, Mychal. Mychal, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm as good as any graduate student can be during these hectic times.
Now, Mychal, you're not in my cohort at Georgia State University. You're the cohort below me, but how are you doing?
Yes, the younger and prettier cohort, some might say. I'm just kidding. Your cohort's very beautiful as well. I'm good. We just were kind of talking about it, but you are currently in comps. I am about to enter into comps by the end of the semester, hopefully. I'm excited to be done with classes, but I am dreading being in comps. So maybe, Anthony, if you have any words of wisdom for me, going into this. I know this is exciting viewing for anyone not in grad school, but
No, the comps process is the funnest part so far. Just reading. That's all you got to do is just read. Now, to actually taking the test, then that gets a little bit crazy. I'm getting.
I was gonna say, I think you're the first person to ever say that the comps has been fun. So, but they did change the process for us. So thank God we're not stuck in a room for 4 hours for like 3 days, which. It sounds wild that that's what grad school is, but yeah, sometimes they stick you in a closet and make you write like 8 pages a day for a few days. So
yeah, the original comps process was closer to my master's comp process, where you sat down, you actually did it was like an essay. Now it's a take home exam, but it's more like a paper, like you're writing 4 papers in 4 days, which is there's a little bit of another like grinding element to that as well, but definitely. Something that I definitely would prefer the take-home paper writing over the stuck in a room for all day. I guess it would be like a 2-day process, the old one, or I guess it would be 1-day process where you just have 2-hour exams, 3 2-hour exams or whatever. But yeah, so this one is definitely better. But yeah, I'll be happy to give you all the advice on how to conquer the comps process.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what everybody's here for. By the way, if you're a new grad student, you want to know how to conquer the comps process. But no. So today's topic is actually we're talking about Gina Carano and, of course, Joss Whedon. Counterculture, is it going too far? That's actually not how we're going to address this, but those are our topics, so you can skip ahead in the time codes there. But first, the thing we do is we always catch up first, right? And I want to go ahead. I want to think about what I wanted to talk about, because what I originally wanted to talk about was I want to talk about WandaVision, how much I love the show. But I guess we can still talk about it. Jeremy, you're also caught up on WandaVision. What are you thinking so far? Positive, negative? We're not going to talk about spoilers here because Acid has not watched it. Mychal, are you caught up, Mychal, or do you have a couple?
Yes, I just haven't watched this is Saturday, so Friday's episode. So is this 7? What are we even on? How many episodes are there?
I'm slow in it. Like I'm slowly catching up. I'm at the episode where they're in color now, and I want to say it's 70s. I think they're in like the 70s theme or whatever. They just did like the talent show or whatever. Like I finished that episode, which was where he swallowed the gum. You know what I'm talking about? And all this mess, like that was pretty funny. Like, so I was really sorry. I'm not trying to steal from Jeremy's thunder or anything, but the first episode, I was extremely turned off. And
really?
Yeah, extremely turned off. I was like, okay, this is going to be another like Bewitched show. They're going to do this black and white theme, which, I mean, it's fine, if they wanted to do black and white theme. And then the second show happened, and I was like, okay, well, now they're kind of progressing. And I guess
it's good that they release those together.
Yeah. Like now that I'm on the 70s show, I'm like, okay, well this kind of makes sense, because the second one it was the what was it, the plane or the helicopter that was in color right there in the bushes, and I saw the logo on the helicopter, and I went, what logo is that? That looks familiar. I'm not sure what that was, and I'm not there yet, and then they did the whole show with both of them in color with the talent show, and that was funny. That was creative. So that's where I'm at right now. So
once again, Acid, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago. How I was not on board with the first 2 episodes.
That's how I thought
it was taking way too long. I wanted to progress faster than it was. But as soon as they got to, was it the 4th episode where they were outside the hex, right?
Yes.
As soon as they start doing that, I'm 100% on board.
So the next episode, I'm going to be 100% on board?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. It's the next 2 episodes where you're like, it makes the first 2 episodes worth it.
Okay.
Because the first 2 episodes, to me, were a grind.
Because now, she has a baby, and I was like, where did this baby come from? This baby happened in 1 episode.
It's so funny to be from your perspective. That's so funny to hear, like, the way you're describing things.
So weird.
Because we know what's happening. We know where this is going.
Like as soon as she got pregnant, I was like, oh, look, she's pregnant. Oh, look, she's 3 months pregnant. Oh, look, she's like 8 months pregnant. Oh, look, there's a baby. Like, what just happened? So
But the most recent episode, there's one big reveal, obviously. That's the whole episode is around this one big reveal.
Okay.
And I'm on board with it. It's fine. I think we all kind of saw it coming. Like a lot of us, if you actually were like researching fan theories, this was like the most prominent fan theory. And so that was confirmed. I'm a little bit concerned that the big reveal, I'm trying not to spoil things for Acid, but the big reveal that happened in the previous episode isn't as big of a reveal as we thought. Right.
So it's not your Luke Skywalker moment?
It's not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Which reveal are you talking about?
I'm talking
the
about
Halloween
Pedro.
episode?
Pierre, not Pedro.
So that would have been two episodes ago, right?
Okay, 2 episodes ago. So
Okay.
I'm starting. So
I don't think that really means anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's starting to seem that wasn't as big of a deal as we thought it could have been.
Can I ask you this? Like, I don't care about Like again, I don't care about spoilers. It doesn't. I'm going to watch it anyway. Wanda and Vision, are they new to the scene as far as Marvel Comics, or have they been around for a while? Because I'm more of a DC person, so I'm not.
They've been around for a while.
They have been around for a while. Where did they originate?
80s, right? 70s, 80s. At least Wanda was around 70s because she was they're the kids of Magneto.
Okay.
Quicksilver and Wanda are the kids of Magneto.
So was this post X-Men or pre X-Men?
No, the X-Men were already established.
They were already established. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious.
So obviously the reveal in a couple episodes ago, we thought, okay, this is where the X-Men are going to start entering into the MCU, right? That was my big thing. I was like, okay, this is when this is going to start happening. And it looks like that may not be the case now, right? We're getting some hints that may not be happening, which is, to me, is disappointing in a lot of ways. But I mean, there's still obviously some more episodes to watch. But what did you think of the last episode, Jeremy?
I liked it. Wasn't terribly surprised by anything that happened. I really liked the Halloween episode. The last two have been a lot of fun. I did like the spectral powers that they hinted at.
I feel like I need to watch this for next week. I feel like I just need to watch it all.
But yeah, I mean, I think they're setting it up, for a good showdown. Just drag out fight in one episode coming up.
And Michael, what'd you think?
Well, I haven't seen the latest episode, but I'm liking things. I'm bummed that you have said that they might not be joining the X-Men just yet, especially with something that happens. I guess we've already mentioned Pietro, but like I was really hoping that was kind of an entry point for the X-Men to show up, because I absolutely adore the X-Men, and I especially love. Oh wait, go ahead, Acid.
No, I was just saying I really like the X-Men too, so I'm with you on that.
And I really like the fact that Wanda and Quicksilver are Magneto's kids, because that's amazing. And I love that, like, in the Fox X-Men they kind of hinted at that. So I'm bummed that because of companies being stupid and having to like keep control of things, they weren't able to have that in the Disney version. But yeah, I'm just excited. I know like some fun characters, because I've been following some like film people on TikTok, and they've been kind of doing predictions, which I don't want to say, but some of the stuff that they've been talking about, I'm excited if it comes true. And one thing I think I understand what you're saying, Anthony, because I might have gotten a tiny bit spoiled for it, has to do with, what's her name? Catherine Hahn's character. Mm-hmm. So if that's what this next episode is going to be about, then I'm excited for what is revealed. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and once again, in the MCU, Wanda and Quicksilver are not Magneto's kids because Magneto doesn't exist in the MCU. But this other Quicksilver could have been somehow related. By the way, the actor who plays this Quicksilver, can we just talk about how great that character is? Like, in terms of how charismatic the character is? Like, he's superior to the other Quicksilver in every way.
The other Quicksilver had very little time for any sort of character.
Where did the other Quicksilver show up in film?
In all the X-Men. X-Men.
Yeah, Evan Peters.
Which was the first?
Future Past, Age of Apocalypse. Not Age of Apocalypse, but Apocalypse. and then the third one, Phoenix. Remember the stop motion? No time in a bottle, which I played that scene in one of my classes on Thursday.
Okay.
You know, both those actors were in Kick-Ass together.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
didn't
really
ever see
enjoyed that
that.
reference.
I never saw that. I need to watch that.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and move on from my topic, and we'll move to Jeremy. Jeremy, what's new?
So, I told you that I was gonna try to make my way through Enterprise or Discovery.
Here we go.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go.
Oh, let's hear it.
Here comes the rant.
He's like, I just couldn't do it.
I did. I had to stop.
Oh, that's bad.
I just hate it so much.
Wait, hold on. So where did you stop?
Yeah, how far did you get?
At the completely nonsensical, random things going on throughout the galaxy that is... How is it Star Trek?
All right, so
I mean,
They're
I
in
need to know
space,
where-
Jeremy. Come on. That's all that matters.
I need to know where you stopped. What season and what episode of that
It
season?
was season 2, like episode 5 or 6.
You gotta keep going. Like I'm
It's
telling
just so
you.
terrible. It doesn't make any sense. So, like, you told me season 2 was better than season 1. I thought it was actually worse.
Really?
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
strong start.
like I don't buy. Like, I like the guy who plays Pike. I don't buy any part of the story though. I don't care about any of the characters. I don't like any of them. The one I did like in season 1, I don't like in season 2.
Who's the one you liked in season 1 and you don't like now?
The roommate. What's her name?
Gilly?
Yeah.
Okay, I actually did not like her in the first season, and now I like her a little more.
Yeah, I liked her in the first season. She was the only likable one. But
Saru?
then what they're doing with her in season 2,
What about Saru? You don't like Saru? He's my favorite character in that show.
there's just not a lot to him.
There,
I mean,
there's-
there's no character development in the show. They don't give you a reason to care to like any of these people.
keep watching. Keep watching. I'm telling you. So, Michael, we've discussed this before. I've talked about the things that I did not like about Discovery. Many of the things that I do like about Discovery. My opinion on it, my hard take, right, is that it gets good season 3, because season 3 is when are you familiar with this Discovery, Michael?
I have not watched it yet. My dad has been watching it, and I need to. But I also appreciate, Anthony, you have like these like Anthony guarantees of like, after this episode, it gets better. Like you've been like WandaVision, Discovery now. Like I appreciate that you have like these guarantees of like when things are gonna get good, and I really enjoy that.
Like I texted you, I don't think it gets better. I just think you get used to it.
Well, okay, so at season 3, they get rid of all the stuff. Like, I'll repeat what I said before. It's almost like they came up to me and said, "Hey, Anthony, what are the things that you do not like about Discovery?" And I would say, "Boom, boom, 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 boom." Season 3, they're like, "Okay, there you go, they're gone," because that's what happens.
It's every single thing that they, just the smallest change they could have done and stuck with canon, they went the other way and violated previously established canon. So
Jeremy's one of those toxic fanboys, Michael, and if you're not familiar, no, I mean, he has legitimate complaints about how they're disrupting canon for no reason. Like
for no reason.
There's no reason to do it, and they're making choices that just why do it? But then season 3, there's no longer that need. There's no longer that problem because they completely, spoiler alert, they go in the future. Discovery goes in the future, so there's no longer they're not.
Are they not in the future? Like, isn't Star Trek
here to us?
Okay, like, aren't they already there?
No, and Discovery is before like the original series, before Next Generation, before. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everything they do in Discovery is completely just effing canon. Like, I mean, just everything.
If they had just said this is in the Abrams universe, I'd have been okay because I wouldn't have cared.
But so you do agree that Pike is a likable character? I do. I love that Pike character, and
it's a likable character. I just don't believe, knowing what that character was in the universe that existed, I don't believe anything that they're doing with him.
I feel like you haven't gotten to the part where Giorgio becomes a likable character. She becomes a fun character, and where Saru has his big arc. Like, you need to follow his thing as well.
Saru, I mean, his arc so far is that he's, I mean, just a decent officer, but that's it.
Yeah, you haven't gotten to the part yet. All right, good. All right, so there you go. Jeremy hates Discovery and everything about it. Is there one thing that you did like about Discovery? Is there one thing that you do like about the show?
It's very pretty.
Well, I'm pretty, Jeremy. I mean,
I don't get to watch you on my TV every day. Then I can just fire these shows up.
All right, so there's Jeremy's review of Discovery. It's terrible. You got to get through to you got to get through season 3, because season 3 is when it starts taking off. All right, Acid.
Yes.
What's new with you,
dude? Okay, listen. All right, I've got big news. I can't tell you the last time.
More than the guinea pig.
More than the guinea pig. I can't tell you the last time I read a book. Okay, like just an actual just sat down, read a book. Like, it's just, I don't. Again, Michael, I know me and you have just met, but I play video games. That's all I do. I don't watch TV. I don't read books. I don't play board games. Like, I play video games. That is my life. And then I go to work. Like, that's it.
Acid, like, the bar was here with the guinea pig, and so now you say you don't read books, and I'm like, where is this going?
Where is this going?
Like, where is it going?
Okay, look, now, of course I've watched my share of movies, and one of my favorite movies that I've really enjoyed was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Well, guess what I bought? Okay, I bought Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book, and I'm a few chapters in, and I love it. I think it's a phenomenal book. I've really been enjoying it so far. I'm like 3 or 4 chapters in. I'm not
the most overrated science fiction book in the history of science fiction.
Look,
we've established you don't have a sense of humor.
The way that this is written is ingenious. Like, I love the way that this is written. I don't, again, like I said, I don't read a lot of books. Like, I've finished like a Dean Koontz book. Okay, like you know, hey, it could happen, right? I think that was By the Light of the Moon or something. That was like 10 years ago. And, you know, and of course, I read my Christian literature and stuff, but like, as far as sci-fi goes, like, this has been probably at least the 3 or 4 chapters that I've been in. It has been a really amazing journey for me, as far as literature goes. And I've really been enjoying it. No new bus news. I know, Michael, again, me and you just met. I'm a bus driver as well.
Nice.
No new school bus news, other than we've lost
kids.
No, we've lost. We haven't lost kids. No, we've lost a number of drivers.
Man,
we have been desperate for a while, but it's starting to get worse as far as we need bus drivers ASAP. We've had to cancel several routes because there just aren't enough drivers. So parents are having to take their kids to school that, you know, I mean, they should anyway, right? But
nope.
Anthony's like, no, you're supposed to be driving your kids to school.
Peace.
There's just not enough. And I don't, nobody's been training. Nobody's been looking. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, we've been short, and we're short about 10 or so bus drivers now. So 10 routes aren't getting done right now. And it's kind of sad, honestly. And I can't make up for it, and nobody else can make up for it. So we've just been doing what we can at this point, so that the wheels on the bus continue to go round and round. Okay.
Thank you, Acid, for that. Michael, that's been an inside joke. Every episode I've asked Acid if the wheels on the bus go round and round. That's the one thing I've been asking. And just to piss off Jeremy, because it enrages him every time I make that joke.
J-Dog. It's J-Dog.
J-Dog, of course.
J-Dog.
Acid, do you think it's because, are more people leaving because of COVID and whatnot? Or is it that...
No, it has nothing to do with COVID. Now, we do have some quarantined folks, which they'll come back. But we've had a couple of people retire, and just we've had a couple of retire and just no fill-ins.
So it's like fewer people coming in.
Yeah. It's just what's stupid about it is that when I applied to be a bus driver, it took me 3 or 4 days to figure out where to go to apply to be a bus driver, and that's a problem. Like I was looking for it. Like I was like, oh, okay, I want to go be a school bus driver. Let's see what's going on. It took me like 2 or 3 days just to figure out where to go and who to talk to. The information is not user-friendly. The website is not user-friendly. None of it is. And I think that's where it's getting lost in the mix because no one has any idea where to go. So, I mean, that's the only person's fault that is the city. So, I mean, there's nothing you can really do.
Do you need a job? Then contact me.
Don't contact me. No, absolutely not. Contact me.
As a student who relies on public transit for like most of everything I do just to live, because I can't afford a car because I'm in grad school. So I am huge. Like I love public transit, bus drivers. Like y'all are some real ones. So I really hope that you get more, because that happened to me when I was in Atlanta, actually, because that's where Anthony and I go to school. They had to close down some bus routes when COVID first started. And thank God the one near me was not like disrupted because it was on the way up for a hospital. So it was needed.
Ooh, okay,
but if my bus would have shut down, I wouldn't have gotten groceries. I wouldn't have been able to like go anywhere. Yeah. So like it really is something that is needed, and the city, unfortunately, because of a lot of things, I won't get too political here, but but the city needs to fund them. So I really hope that you can get more people.
And honestly, the job itself is not attractive. Like I
for sure.
have been blessed enough to I'm married. I've got 2 kids. Like I have 2 incomes coming in. So, and a lot of these people don't. Like they're either retired from another job and they're driving a bus just to get some extra dough at the end of the month, or they're working middle of the day to trying to make ends meet. So the job is not attractive because the hourly pay may be good, but I mean, it's like 4 hours a day. I mean, it's 20 hours a week minimum. So, I mean, how is that attractive? It's not. They need to double everything, and then it becomes attractive. And then you, not only do you get people applying, but you also get a quality that you're not going to find with the current pay that it is right now.
We're talking bus politics today on the show. Call in with your bus related questions.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I'm going to cancel cars right here, right now. Buses, where it's at.
It's needed. It's about time, right, that we cancel those cars.
Oh, we have viewers, Mychal, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome Skiffer and Appleby to the chat.
Well, there you go, Appleby. What do you think about buses, Appleby? Do you like them? What about bus drivers?
He loves the bus drivers. He loves them.
That's what we're talking about today. Buses and Star Trek Discovery.
That's right.
Disrupting. Mychal, what's new with you?
Not much. I'm enjoying life in beautiful California because I left due to the pandemic. So I am loving that. I'm loving being back home in my childhood bedroom. That's great.
So you're in Cali right now?
I did not know.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You were that's interesting. So you're broadcasting from, is it San Diego right now?
Yes, I am in San Diego. Yeah, I'm trying to think of I've been watching Supernatural because it just ended in, 2020, but like a few months ago. And I watched it when I was in high school. Me and my best friend, like we stopped around season 9. And like with the ending happening, we got that itch that only Supernatural apparently could scratch. So we are watching it now. I'm on season 12. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm going to continue watching the show and see how it ends. Cause I like the show's been on for so long. And sometimes you're like, well, where are we going? How is this going to end? So I'm excited to see where it goes. But I have not been that excited because the fans were not happy. So I've been able to get spoiler free, but I know that this fandom did not like their ending. So I don't know if anyone here watches Supernatural or has. Anthony, you do?
No, so I know I went to one academic conference where I went to a Supernatural panel and I had no idea what anyone was talking about. No idea. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to sit here and not know what's going on. But how many seasons are there in Supernatural?
There are 15. So it's been on for a while, and it was really funny because apparently not very many people, even though this is like a somewhat popular fandom academic show.
Oh, yeah.
I was in a class like maybe last semester, and I started talking about like the famous ship on the show, which is between the main character Dean and the angel character Castiel, that people have maybe this last season somewhat confirmed as being like gay, which is great. But it's still iffy. Like, I don't know, the way they handle things on this show is not good. But Eric Kripke, who was the original creator of the show, does The Boys. And so I'm very excited for Jensen Ackles to jump over to that and see what they do with season 3. So
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
The
right. I
Boys-
forgot he was coming to The Boys.
yes,
Yeah,
and
he's
then
gonna be like the what Homelander,
He's-
like the other Homelander guy, right?
yes, he plays Soldier Boy, is I think
Yeah.
his name. Yeah. And I have not read the comics for The Boys. I think I might because I've read Preacher, which is the same duo.
Same guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of want to go see what the comics are like. But I'm loving the
they're good.
series. They're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. They're worth reading.
Yeah, Preacher
Yeah.
was wild to read, and then
Yeah.
watching it like as a show was even weirder. Like,
I tried to watch it, but since it was so vastly different from the comic, I didn't make it through the first season. I don't think.
Appleby
Yeah.
says Supernatural. He says he's seen them all, but it seems like they ran out of villain ideas 7 seasons ago.
that's very accurate. Like the last villain I just watched, if no one cares if I spoiled, I mean it's been out, so I'm not really spoiling
Yeah,
too
go
much.
ahead.
But the last big villain for season 11 was God's sister, the Darkness. Yeah, it's wild. Like, I don't know why I don't know. Like, there's so much they could do with the show, and me and my friend have been talking about it, but they just keep, I don't know. They have great ideas, but their execution on that show is atrocious. But I love it still. So, I mean, like, I don't think I can recommend it, though. Please don't watch this show. But it's great.
Yeah, people love that show. I'm telling you, people love it, especially in academia. Like the people really love talking about it. Apparently, there's this one episode where like they're meeting the fans. They're meeting
Yes.
fans, like meta thing that everybody writes about. I'm like, okay, let's get over that. Everybody wants to write about this particular episode. I get it. It's meta. All right. Anyways, so Supernatural. You're on what you said, the 12th episode or the 12th
I'm in the
season?
12th season, yeah. So I feel I see the light, and that's why it like keeps me going. Like I'm like, I know I'm close. I think that's why I stopped, because like when you're in it and it just keeps going and going, you're like, okay, maybe I should stop. But once something ends, I'm like, okay, now I can see where it's going to end, and thank God I can. And now you can binge it. It's all on Netflix, so it's not like I'm real time spending years of my life on the show, which is a blessing. So
I've gotten so used to watching like the normal Netflix or like HBO series. You know, it was like 8-10 episodes, or you know, like a British show is like maybe like 4, you know, episodes or something for a whole series. And then like going back and looking at stuff that's like 22, 24 episodes per season, hour long, like that's a commitment. Like to start back from the beginning and watch all of that through. Yeah, I don't know if I ever
Yeah,
have
it's
it.
kind of like when I get back into the Flash, because like all the CW superhero shows are like the 21 episodes, and I'm just like, and you can tell, like you can tell they're 21 episodes, because like one episode's like, what is this? What are we doing here? Like, what? This is a pointless episode. But yeah, there
It
you
says
go.
Dr. XD says Doomsday Clock sucks. Doomsday Clock shouldn't be a movie because that comic sucked anyway. And then Appleby comes up and says the brothers will die at least 400 more times.
I hope so. I do enjoy that. Also, I didn't realize these were people you were talking to, Anthony. So I thought you meant Applebee's, like the restaurant.
Oh, no.
So,
These are our live chat viewers. We have viewers.
oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so today we're talking about Applebee's. What's your
Applebee's.
favorite casual dining place?
Do you like the cheese sticks?
Bennigan's? I think I'm a big fan of Bennigan's. Did you guys grow up with Bennigan's, or is that just a northern thing?
I don't know what that is.
Bennigan's is like Fridays.
I do. I know what a Friday is. Yeah, I've been to Fridays. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyways, moving on. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our actual topic. Should we start with Joss Whedon? Go ahead.
Can I bring up one more thing, because I'm going to have hardly anything to say about y'all the main topic tonight. I will say that BlizzCon line is this weekend. Today was the last day of that. And they have announced a lot of good things. Jeremy, you might be interested in something like this. They have remastered Diablo 2, which looks phenomenal, by the way. They're calling it Diablo 2 Resurrected. It looks phenomenal. It's the exact same game with like maybe one or two tweaked features, like bigger inventory slots, that kind of stuff, like being able to like get inventory items from one character to another when you trade, that kind of stuff. So if you haven't already looked into it, you should. Diablo 2, of course, the next Hearthstone expansion, World of Warcraft stuff, Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, all this kind of news. And of course, Diablo Immortal, mobile Diablo is coming out hopefully this year. That'd be nice to see, but I doubt that's going to happen. So just some things to think about, viewers. If you haven't already, head on over to battle.net. Go check that out. Sign up for alphas, sign up for betas, that kind of stuff. So make sure you do that.
Well,
I hadn't heard about so like, do they upgrade the game engine and everything?
They did. It looks like they remade the entire game. But
yeah, I mean,
what's really cool is, I mean, you've played Diablo 2. So they have the base Diablo 2 running in the background on top of the resurrected version, so you can actually switch back and forth, like mid-game, back and forth to original graphics and new graphics, and it's all the basic, all the tiles, all the basic concept, all the overlays, everything. It looks so good. If you haven't already, just go look at the trailer video. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
All right, that concludes our Blizzard promotional segment.
We got $5 million for that, guys.
Yeah. We're Blizzard.
Thanks, Blizzard.
What'd you call it, Blizzard?
Their annual conference is called BlizzCon, because the Blizz conference. But since they couldn't do the in-person con because of COVID, they could only do online only. So of course they try to make it really cool. So it's BlizzCon line. So that's what they did. Cross-platform progression, new also in Diablo 2, so you can co-op with PC, and they're doing console and that kind of stuff. Controller
Now, you said Blizzard Resurrection, and this is how big of a child I am. When you said Blizzard Resurrection, I thought
Diablo 2 Erection,
which then also made me think about, have you seen the compilation videos of every time a senator wanted to say insurrection during and they actually said erection?
No, I
didn't. Have you seen those where like someone put together like clips of every time someone accidentally said erection instead of insurrection? No. And it's a lot.
Why does that not surprise me?
Hold up. So are they saying insert erection or just erection?
Erection. There are many times, Google it. There are many times on the news, and like senators, like a famous senator said it. I forget who it was.
I think
probably
Joel
Tommy
Schumacher.
Yeah, Schumacher. Yeah, exactly. He said erection, and if you like, there's a bunch. It happens a bunch. But yeah, that's just my little childish take that I wanted to include before we move on to some serious topics, and that's Gina Carano. Now,
yeah, go ahead. I'll end with it. Go ahead.
With the erection.
No, we'll end with an erection. Go ahead.
Okay, excellent. we always do. All right, so so let's talk about Gina Carano. And do you want to talk about Carano and then Whedon, or you want to talk about them both together? How do you want to handle this situation?
I think we need some background. That's kind of what I thought. Like, I've read a little bit on what's going on. I don't think the stuff that you sent me, Anthony, like I just kind of skimmed over a little bit. I couldn't find any like specifics. Like what happened? Like, do we know what happened?
All right, so let's talk about. Yeah. We'll start with. Okay. We'll start with Carano, and her big issue is, obviously everyone keeps pointing to the tweet where she's comparing. It's either a retweet or she tweets it. It doesn't matter. Where she's comparing being conservative with being a Jew during the Holocaust, right? And that was the one thing that everyone was kind of upset about. But that's not the only thing that she's been tweeting questionable stuff for a long time now, and it's been kind of ramping up. So like this was not like a one-time thing where they just she got canceled because she said she had one bad tweet. No, she's been doing this for a while, and many times it's questionable, and it seems like there's not one tweet that's like, although that one's kind of bad, but it seems like there hasn't been one tweet where it was bad enough to where she got fired because of it. So she was fired by Disney because of her social media posts.
Yeah, and there was go ahead. Or I was gonna say there's like a campaign, like a hashtag for her about this, because she's talked about like the voter fraud for the 2020 election. She talked about, this is like a while ago, and she did put out an apology, so I'll say this with like an asterisk next to it, but she did talk about like pronouns and was making fun of those. So yeah, she's had like, this has been a long time coming kind of thing, and I think it just kind of, actually, I'm not sure if these are linked, but when I was watching this unfold, I know that Pedro Pascal's sister just came out as trans. And so I know, seeing that, people were kind of bringing back up Gina because of the pronoun thing. And so I don't know, I think these were kind of simultaneous. I don't think this was started because of that, but I know that when I saw that happening, very soon after, she was fired. So I think this just kind of dredged up some of her stuff that she's done before.
Yeah, and the fire of Gina Carano has trended periodically over the pandemic for her opinions on things.
Yeah, for various things. So she had anti-vax stuff. She had anti-mask stuff. She made fun of the pronouns by doing the bleep bloop bull crap thing. And then, yeah, so she's been doing a lot of very questionable tweets, and it's been ramping up. The anger has been ramping up, and it kind of dwindled down and kind of ramped up again. And there's been reports that Disney actually it's more than just reports, because I think she actually came out and said, she said that Disney was harassing her, or like.
I'm surprised it took this long. I mean, you hear the contracts that people used to sign with Disney, and they essentially controlled their lives. Like, they couldn't behave in any way that would be outside the Disney, image. So I figured it would happen before now.
Well, I'm assuming that Disney said, "Hey, look, you need to cut this out." I'm assuming that's what happened. Now, she actually said, but she said they were like harassing her and stuff like that, whatever, for her posts, and she just didn't listen. Like, she didn't she obviously she made a choice that she was going to continue to do this kind of stuff, and now that she's fired from The Mandalorian, it seems like she's going in a particular direction now. Now she's talked about how she wants to have. Well, she got offered like a show, like an alt-right show. Like, she's kind of going in that direction. She's going to end up becoming like an alt-right commentator. Like, that's going to be her thing from now on, which is it seems like that, because she has an interview with Ben Shapiro, and I think she actually has a deal with like Ben Shapiro's company to have either a TV show or a radio show, or whatever. So it looks like she's going in that direction. But yeah. I'm sorry, Michael, did you have one?
Oh, no, I was going to say, yeah, she has a deal with the Daily Wire, which, because I do not go in those circles, I did not know that's what Ben Shapiro was linked to. So I was like, oh, I think I was thinking like the Daily Mail or something. And I was like, that's an alt-right, like, news channel. But yeah, no, there's a lot to say about her and this whole situation. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could start talking about it.
So, Jeremy, it looks like you have some.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, like so she's getting a show. Like, so the only prerequisite in that world is to have the same opinion and be famous, and you get a show.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're gonna ride that. They're gonna ride that out. I mean, because they're gonna be their big thing now. Is like, she got canceled and she's a hero because she's speaking her mind, and now blah, 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 it's cancel culture, right? That's gonna be the big thing now. So hopefully, see, and this is the big difference between James Gunn and her, right? So James Gunn in that situation is James Gunn apologized right away. And he kind of distanced himself from his past self, right? He was like, that was wrong. now I'm growing, and he's still. I mean, he lost his job obviously, but he got it back pretty quickly. Carino did not do that. She was steadfast, and she made a decision that that's the direction she was going to make. So it looks like her career path is going in that direction rather than apologizing, cutting it all out, and then perhaps maybe even getting rehired, which was a real possibility. Like that could have most certainly have happened.
I wonder. Like, so like Gunn had the benefit of it being 10 years or
Yeah, it was a
something.
long time ago. Yeah.
So, there's enough time there where you can say, hey, I wish I had never done that. I don't agree with any of that. And people believe him. But now if she I tweeted this out 2 days ago, I don't think that anymore. No one's really going to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so.
Chad actually says, fun fact, the show will be crowdfunded using proceeds from paid subs to Ben Shapiro's show or the Daily Wire.
Well, there you go. Excellent. Well, and it's going to be enough. She'll make enough money. They'll make enough money for a show. There's an audience for it, certainly. So that's Gina Carano's future. Like I said before, I think there was a real possibility that if she would apologize and was silent for a while, she could have came back eventually. Like maybe in a couple of seasons, they could have easily rehired her because people like the character. I like the character, and I know I texted you several times, Jeremy, throughout the year when all this stuff was popping up. I kept telling you because sometimes it can be hard to separate the actor from the role, right? And I kept saying, like, I don't like this character anymore. Like, I can't separate. I can't separate I actually liked Carano as well, like when she was a fighter in the UFC. But yeah.
Yeah, and like if she had tweeted all these things as a UFC fighter, I don't know if she would have had the pushback that she did, just because that kind of behavior in that world is much different than when you work for Disney.
Yeah, we could talk about fitness culture. Jeremy, me and you we text back and forth. My disappointment with fitness culture and their anti-mask attitudes. You think it would be the opposite, but in a lot of ways it's not. Yeah, I'm often very frustrated with fitness culture and their attitude towards masks. Acid, did you have something? You were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, at what point do you like? So any show really. I mean, at what point do you say, all right, well, I like this character in this show. What point do you say, okay, well, I want to know more about their personal life? Like when I watch a television show, I don't care about who the actor is. I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. I mean, don't get me wrong, but at what point do you want to go look farther into their personal life? Like I personally don't see that appeal, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if Patrick Stewart came out and was saying some crazy crap like this, I would not like Picard that much anymore. To me, it ruins it. Like it ruins. I understand that there's a separation between the actor and the role. Mm-hmm. I understand that Patrick Stewart is not Jean-Luc Picard.
Right. Yeah.
But just hearing it now with social media, it's so.
But that doesn't make them a bad actor or actress. I mean, it doesn't make them bad at their job. It just makes them a bad human. I mean, that's all that is. I mean, just because I say Patrick Stewart again said some stupid crap in his personal, like on his tweet or in his Facebook or whatever.
Just to be clear, Patrick Stewart did not.
He did not. Yeah, Patrick Stewart did not. But everybody knows Patrick Stewart. But if something like that were to happen, at what point would you stop watching Star Trek: The Next Generation or stop watching Picard? Or I don't follow. That has nothing to do with follow him. I mean, I don't follow him on social media. I don't follow him as a human, as his personal human. I don't follow him that way.
I'm the same way that you are, Acid. I can probably separate the art from the artist more than I should. But that there's that Us Weekly, like people follow the lives of celebrities pretty closely. Like that's some people's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to listen to Bill Cosby album and be okay with that?
He's funny. I mean, as a human, he's made some horrible choices, but
yeah, I'd have more trouble of giving money that I knew would go to him.
But I mean, if it just happened to pop up on YouTube, and I mean, I don't. And again, I mean, that's a good point. You bring up Bill Cosby. I don't know the full story. I mean, I don't. And it's not like I don't care. I just don't follow it. Like, does that make sense? Like, it's not. Does that make me a bad person because I don't follow it? I don't think so. I mean, you can't know everything about everybody. It's like, oh, well, I like this person. Well, that person's a racist. Well, I didn't know that. I mean, you know, I mean, it's just, well, that person's a rapist. Well, I didn't know that. You know, how do you know? I mean, you don't. And then 10 years later, you find out. It's like, do you all of a sudden stop liking this person? Like, I don't know how to deal with that. I guess it's a very strange concept to me.
Well, I mean, the Carano thing is uber public,
right? I mean, chat's going
everybody's
crazy.
Talking about
like, all she had to do was not say problematic things on social media. Not a huge ass. The problem is no one had to dig for the bigotry. She just went out of her way to broadcast it to the world. Like, that makes sense. But like, I mean, in the case, go back to Bill Cosby. In that case, you didn't have that kind of stuff back then. You know, you didn't have the Twitter, you didn't have the Facebook with all that stuff going on. I mean, it was surfacing a little bit, but it wasn't broadcast to the world unless it was on mainstream media, you know, mainstream television. So I don't know. Yeah,
I think for me, when I'm watching The Mandalorian, obviously I can kind of get a little immersed into the narrative when I'm watching the film or the show. But deep down, every time I see that character, I'm like, oh, she's kind of a bad person. Like that kind of that little inchworm is in my head, and it ruins it for me in a lot of ways. But yeah, once again, we could talk about Carano and all day long. Should we move on to Joss Whedon and how great he is?
I didn't know the details on that either.
Okay, so
so does it ruin Buffy for you, Anthony?
Kind of ruins Buffy for me a little bit.
Nothing ruins Buffy. Buffy didn't do a thing.
I know she did, and the fact that it seems like everybody is against Whedon now. So the guy who plays Angel came out in support of Carpenter. Buffy obviously came out in support of Carpenter. Like everybody, Spike, the guy who plays Spike, is on board with Carpenter. It seems like everybody is against Whedon, is not taking his side on here. But to kind of sum up the controversy, and this has actually been sort of rumored for a long time that Whedon is kind of an asshole. Like that's been always a rumor, or at least that he likes to joke around. He has really harsh humor.
Do we have specifics though? Like I haven't seen any specifics.
Yeah. So Carpenter's big thing. Mychal, go ahead, please.
Well, okay, there's a lot with Whedon that like.
Yeah, I mean, I want to know.
Yeah, I watched Buffy later in life, and I remember watching it like when I was like in my 20s. So after I had gotten like at least my bachelor's degree, and like I could see the problematic tendencies within Buffy, and so just real quickly to insert like to kind of bridge this gap, I think my issue with like the whole like whether we could support like the person, like their art versus the person. I think it's hard to do that because I think the person's politics enter into their art. So I think that like inherently Whedon's like politics are going to be in Buffy and all the things he created. And I think like the same, even like with actors, it's a little bit more kind of iffy, but they do choose roles that they politically will like maybe lean towards. So like I think that's a huge thing because that's an issue I have with Woody Allen, where like to get a whole other person who should be canceled and is canceled, like you can see like what he believes in these films. So I think you can never really separate the art and the artist because I think their ideologies are inherently in the art that they make. And art's always going to be political. So that's kind of the 2 cents on that. But to get into Whedon specifically, like definitely Charisma Carpenter. No, not Carissa. Wow, Charisma Carpenter. It was rumored that she was fired because she was pregnant on Buffy. And then what happened? I know
which one was she?
She was
Cordelia.
Oh my god, what's her name?
Cordelia.
Okay. Cordelia, yes.
Because she was on Angel too.
And yeah, so that's why like her. Yeah, and then pretty much after that, his now ex-wife wrote a scathing article about how he uses feminism to make up for his douchebaggery, like basically calling him out, which is great. And then recently, why I think this is like really important. So I need to give a shout out. Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg in the Justice League, has been he's actually like been receiving a lot of criticism because he's calling out Whedon for the Justice League, like how he was treated on Justice League. And so this has been happening for the past year. Ray Fisher has been like actively going against Whedon. And that's why Charisma Carpenter kind of spoke out saying, I also experienced this, so I stand with Ray Fisher, because Ray Fisher has been now kicked off of Cyborg for future like DC things because of this, because he spoke out against Joss Whedon and I think two of the executives who are in DC.
Yeah, Jeff Johns was one of them. Right.
Yeah. So this has been like kind of, again, like I think all these things have been boiling up to these points that have been happening. But Joss Whedon for like years has been rumored to be a douchebag. Like that's what people have kind of said behind the scenes. And I think some other people in Buffy have spoken out about recently with Charisma about having a bad experience as well with that. So Anthony, you probably know a little bit more too.
No, so yeah, that was great. That was exactly kind of what I was going to say. So the big thing was obviously Ray Fisher, and there was a lot of backlash with him, like accusing him of kind of just making it up or over exaggerating or being too sensitive, right? And then Carpenter came up pretty recently, and I remember all this when it like watching the show, it was really weird. Like her character got really weird because she got pregnant. And then they just killed her off. And so there was a lot of, previously it was like, she was kind of blamed for what happened. Like apparently like she went crazy and just wanted to leave the show. Like that was kind of like the fan, like rumors that were going around. But it turns out that maybe it was actually, she just got pregnant and Whedon was a huge a-hole to her. Like apparently he said things like he asked her if he wanted to keep the baby. Like he said, are you actually going to keep the baby? And he kept calling her fat, which I can see Whedon saying that. I can see Whedon thinking that's funny and calling her fat when she's pregnant. But I recently watched an interview with the guy who plays Spike. What's his name? Marsters, something like that.
That sounds right.
The guy who plays Spike. Which is weird hearing his American accent because he's American, right? He's not actually British. So hearing him, it seems really weird. But he talked about he had an incident with Whedon one time when Spike first started on the show. He was a villain, right? But he was supposed to be like a temporary villain. He was supposed to be one season villain and then dead, right? But apparently, like he got really popular with fans. Fans were all like they were loving him. Like,
I was a huge Spike fan. I really
women
Spike.
were loving him and everything too. So he became kind of like this romantic. Like
that
guy.
part, that was a wrong turn. I don't think he should have been romantic at all with Buffy. And
female fans, like so, a lot of fans liked Spike for that reason. And he was talking about in an interview where one day Whedon like kind of got in his face and he said, "I don't care if fans like you. I'm gonna do everything in my power to like ruin you or something like that, kill you off or something like I'm gonna kill you off." Like got in his face and said, "I don't care if the fans like you. I'm gonna kill you off." And like he was 100% serious.
And they did the last episode.
But
I mean, they did have that unfortunate like he like almost like rapes Buffy, which was like really weird and out of left field for like their whole character development. So I can believe it because I mean what they did with like Cordelia like is wild for her final season of like making her terrible and like yeah, he's just vindictive, and it's really unfortunate.
I think, if I remember the arc, she delivers a baby, but the baby is like a demon, right?
Yeah,
is that what happens?
I will say I'm not like a huge Angel person. Like, I only watched Buffy, but I mean, probably. Like, that sounds wild enough for Angel, to be honest.
I can't remember. It's been a really long time since I watched, and I watched Angel. Like, I watched all of Angel. So I had the DVD box set, but
you would.
But I'm pretty sure like she delivers a baby, but it's a demon. Like I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
I think you're right. Yeah, I only watched Angel once. Like I watched the whole thing, but I only watched it once. I need to go back and rewatch it. I watched Buffy 2 or 3 times.
But yeah, so apparently everyone's kind of coming out and supporting everybody else but Whedon. So it looks like Whedon is kind of he's going to have to eventually come out and make a statement and apologize or something, saying because he can't keep
Prediction? Will he?
Or just take a breather.
You think he should just take a breather, just don't do anything?
I think either would, well, like I think we all agree Carano's acting career might be done.
Or he could just retire, be done.
I doubt Joss Whedon's creative directing, producing, writing career's done.
I mean, how old is he now?
I don't know.
I mean, could he just say, "Oh, I'm done. I'm finished. We'll just call it a day. I'm retired."
I mean, he hasn't made anything good in like a while. So.
Hey, but I'm saying, like the Buffy money, the Angel money, like all that money is still there. I mean, he's still got millions, I'm sure. So
I mean,
he ain't
he's
hurting.
not working because he has to.
He ain't hurting.
Remember, he made Avengers, right? Probably one of the greatest.
Yeah,
MCU
I mean, he's not
films?
hurting for cash, so he could just call it quits and just live off what he's got.
What is the last good thing he made? Was it the Avengers?
Probably.
Yeah.
I still say the Age of Ultron, the first half of Age of Ultron is amazing. It's the second half of Age of Ultron where it kind of goes downhill.
Yeah, I mean, I think in hindsight, it's better than we all thought it was when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it actually rewatches better than the first.
He didn't direct Cabin in the Woods. Did he produce it or write it? I can't remember. Because that's also a great film.
I think he produced it.
Produced Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah, I don't think he wrote it. I'd have to double check that. But because I remember being surprised because I thought it was his film, and then I remember seeing other people's names, and I'm like, oh, this isn't his. It was like that kind of thing where, like, you know, like they say, like Jordan Peele, like is on it as a producer, but it's not really his or something.
Well, there you go. Excellent.
Yeah, and so one interesting thing that you brought up, Mychal, about the politics going into the art. I think there's a difference. Like Anthony and I have talked about this, right? So Anthony's trained to dissect things and to understand the larger objective picture, and I just view it subjectively as a person watching it. So we can see the same scene and take two very different things out of it. Mm-hmm. So even knowing something about somebody, I don't know if normal people could, you know, pull apart the nuances and sort of see that the way that y'all can.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you're giving yourself little credit. Like, I think like some of the best conversations I've had have been not with other media scholars, but with like just people I watched a film with who are friends. Like, I think that like people, I mean, don't get me wrong, Anthony and I are giant nerds for film. So like we definitely over dissect every little thing we can. But like even just watching stuff with, like, I'll watch things with my dad sometimes and he'll like bring up something that I, like, as a media scholar did not see. So like it's like I think maybe you just don't have the language that we do, but that's easy. Like your thoughts and feelings, like that's really like the best when I, like as a media scholar, that's the best stuff. Cause like your instant reactions to things are like so good. And like, you just need to like just harness them more. But yeah, no, I think like everyday people, like I'll watch people on TikTok and they'll be talking about stuff that's happening. And I'm like, this is like as good as like, I've heard these in like some of my seminars. And these are just like kids doing little TikToks on their phones. So like, no, don't sell yourself short. Like,
I mean, I could just be especially thick and
and that's the teacher in Mychal, right? That's the talk that she gives her students, right? Exactly.
Yeah, come take my intro to film class, everybody. Like,
excellent. All right, Mychal, if you're not familiar, I've been teaching media theory this semester, and I love it. Like, I 100% love it because I feel like I'm actually talking about things that I'm actually like an expert in, rather than Japanese film. Like, I don't know anything about Japanese film, and that
Kurosawa.
yeah, there are students who probably know more about some of the things I talk about when I do film history, when I get into Japanese film and talking about Bollywood and everything. I don't know anything about Bollywood. I literally know nothing. I just read the textbook and I just read what's in the textbook. But yeah, all right. So there we go. Cancel Whedon and Carano. That's the assumption. That's what we came to conclusion, as just cancel everybody. Did we want to compare it to other people that have been canceled or not? Or we just
We should, or we should compare it to people who haven't been canceled.
I have a question from chat. It says, any new word on Kevin Spacey? I loved his movies, but dang, dude, I can't see his face without thinking about those victims.
Yeah, I think that's a great example.
Yeah.
That's a great example of an actor where I don't see him coming. Like, would you watch a film with Kevin Spacey?
Right.
No,
It's even the same thing with Mel Gibson. Can you watch a Mel Gibson film and not be like, feel like you shouldn't be watching Mel Gibson?
I don't know. I really loved Maverick. I'm sorry. Maverick was one of my favorite movies of all time. I loved Maverick. And of course, that was what, 1996? I mean, that was, early mid 90s. I love Maverick. Of course, now I don't know. Again, I separate the actor from the character. I don't know. Does that make I don't know? Does that make me a bad person? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. No, not at all.
It makes you a viewer.
It's not like I love Mel Gibson. I love Maverick. That was a great movie. I thought
Like if you went out of your way to only watch Mel Gibson movies, maybe.
We'd have to cancel Acid then.
Oh, no.
If that was the way.
Don't do that. I need the money.
I'll only listen to Bill Cosby albums.
That's all I listen to.
I watch Mel Gibson films. That's the only two things I watch. And
I listen to R. Kelly on repeat. Like
Kelly perfect.
Lord.
All right, but yeah, I guess one thing I saw, this has nothing to do with it. We're not even going to get into it, but I saw like one article, because sometimes alt-right stuff pops on my algorithm for whatever reason.
Because you go looking for it.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't know why, but it pops up a lot. And it just,
Anthony, don't cancel yourself now. Like,
because it enrages me, because I want to know how. Anyway, move it on. All right, so they're like talking about like Rush Limbaugh and Howard Stern and comparing those two people together. Like, how come Howard Stern can say this stuff and Rush Limbaugh? Well, let's don't even get into that. But sometimes I feel like we compare things. We try to make things that seem equal, and they're really not. Like, we try to take them and like separate them from the context and put them in a vacuum and compare them. And a lot of times you can't do that. You have to take each individual thing and dissect it in terms of the actual.
Yeah, because if someone got a free pass, that doesn't mean that,
this person did something bad, therefore this person's allowed to do something bad. That's not an argument. Like, that's not a valid reason. But there you go. Cancel everybody is what we're saying. Cancel culture is going too far. Everyone's getting canceled. I can't say anything nowadays.
Cancel that shirt, Anthony. Oh, no. What shirt is that? What kind of shirt are you wearing?
That's a Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode shirt. Okay, that's what.
My favorite band of all time. All right, good.
I thought The Weeknd was your favorite band.
The Weeknd. Oh my gosh, Anthony, we did talk about The Weeknd's halftime show.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that halftime show.
So. Don't hate. Look.
I remember you saying, I'm excited.
I loved it.
Have you seen the memes? Oh, I'm looking for my dog. Where'd he go?
What was he supposed to do? I mean, come on. I mean, first of all, I think there was something wrong with.
I'll say this, Anthony. So you mentioned The Weeknd, a week or two ago? This was before the Super Bowl, and I'd never heard of them. I went to go check them out because my friend Anthony was like, "Hey, I love The Weeknd. Let's go check them out."
I love The Weeknd. I do.
So I looked at a couple of their music videos. I felt violated after I watched two of their music videos. I went, "This is porn. This is not what I came to watch." Like,
what was the name of these songs?
That's the thing. I feel like, and this is probably true of any music video nowadays. The music, the actual lyrics of the song have nothing to do with the actual video itself. That nothing. Like, you could be talking about popcorn, puppies, and classic television, and then the video itself has killing and rapists and Donald Trump dancing the floss. I mean, it has nothing to do with it.
Is it really Donald Trump? Is Donald Trump in one of his videos?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, it has nothing to do with the actual lyrics of the song. So
Have they ever though?
back in the 90s they did. Back when music was good.
I'm just trying to
Hot
think of
take.
I mean, music's gone downhill.
The only
for a
video
long
that's popping in
time.
my head, the Freak on a Leash. Have you seen that? Remember the Freak on a Leash by Korn with the bullet
Oh no, I missed that one.
going through the whole thing? That's the only thing I could think of. Freak
Yeah.
on a Leash by Korn. I remember I was really big into Korn when I was a little kid in high school with my Jinko jeans.
Oh gosh, the Jinko jeans.
My
I used
Jinko
to. I went to high school with a guy who wore Jinkos about 3 times a week, but he would tuck his shirt in to the jeans. Like that's just not right. You shouldn't do
those.
that.
Those were the ones with the real big.
Yeah, like the bell bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah,
From Corn to the
yeah.
Weekend.
Gosh.
Anthony's Journey.
it was something else.
From Corn to the Weekend. Wow, that does say
A Hobbit's Tale.
Hobbit's Tale. Excellent.
I
Did
would
you
like
have
to.
a what's the ICP? Did you have an Insane Clown Posse phase?
I did not know. See, that was actually later on.
Juggalo.
Too. Insane Clown Posse was a little bit later in the.
Were they?
Were they around when we were in high school? I don't think so.
I think they were.
I don't know.
So Nine Inch
were-
Nails. So Nine Inch Nails was the band that I was really into in high school. Like all Nine Inch Nails was my big thing, and then I kind of got into Depeche Mode later on. But yeah, and then
Yeah.
the weekend as well.
I lived in a town where it was a very big Insane Clown Posse demographic. And my friend would see them come. He worked at a thrift store, and they would come in. I was able to avoid them, but I always wanted to see somebody. So maybe one day I'll.
Apparently they're not as bad as everyone keeps saying. Like apparently they're supposed to
No.
like ice and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, all I
I
know
just
about
remember
there was an
it.
episode of Workaholics where they go to
Yeah.
Gathering of the Juggalos, and that's it looked fun.
Yeah, it's another community, right? Another community. All right, so there you go. There's our discussion. Cancel them all is what we're trying to say. It's gone too far. What who do you think should be canceled? Comment below.
don't
Write down the
ask that
name,
question.
and we'll cancel them.
You'll get a lot of comments, that's for sure.
That's awesome. But should we go into trivia? All right,
I want to
Michael.
do one more thing before we go to trivia. Actually, Anthony, I want to ask you on a date here pretty soon. So in April, I'm really excited about this, by the way. So in April, the brand new Mortal Kombat movie is coming out.
Ooh, yeah. They did
Which
look
we need to discuss, not tonight at length, but in future episodes. And I just think you need to keep that in your noggin because me and you
Okay.
are going to the movies. Okay.
All
I do
right.
have a question about it before you ask it.
Yeah, go ahead. I love Mortal Kombat.
So I was surprised they did Kung Lao instead of Liu Kang. And then
Just wait.
okay, so is the kid gonna be Liu Kang? Like, is he gonna turn it?
You know what? The movie's coming out in April. Let's just say, I don't think it's because they have got the first 2 Mortal Kombat movies. The first one is a classic. I know everybody hates on it.
Christopher Lamb.
Yes,
Christopher Lamb?
everybody
I love it.
hates on it. I
I
loved
truly
that.
love it.
I loved that movie. It was so good for its time. And the second one brought in some really good characters like Jax and Shao Kahn and a bunch of folks that you didn't see in the first one. Granted, the story wasn't as good, but it was nice to see those characters implemented in the second film. Like Cyrax, and Sector and all those guys, and I loved it for that reason.
Mortal Kombat 2 has one of the worst lines in cinematic history.
They have a lot of worse lines in cinematic history.
One of the worst lines, and it goes like this. I know exactly what it is.
Okay, let's hear it.
It goes like this. It goes, "Mom, you're alive," and she goes, "Too bad you will die."
That's
That's the
fantastic.
Sindel line. Yeah, that's good. Very good.
Too bad you.
The
will
Sindel katana lines. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to the new one. I just hope it isn't a disappointment, I guess. To me it won't be just because it's Mortal Kombat and I love Mortal Kombat. But like I said, Anthony, keep it in mind. We're going to the movies, but
All right, we're doing it. We're April,
doing
close to my birthday.
it is.
April.
I'll take you. I'll pay for it. It's my treat.
Excellent. I'll be turning 57.
Oh,
All right, so,
that's young. I thought you were turning 77.
Excellent. All right, should we move on to trivia now? Trivia
We
time,
can-
Michael. This is the time where we all lose.
We can move on to our Flaming Geeks book of geeky trivia.
Okay,
we
well,
can
here
do
you
that.
go. Excellent, Michael. We're doing trivia. This is where we just lose to Jeremy. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so we have. I've looked at the table of contents here. We have several categories. Michael, I'm going to let you pick from. I'm going to pick 4. I'm going to let you choose from those 4 to which one where we go forward from there. So we can go with.
Oh, should I get a pen and paper? I'm not prepared.
Yeah, go ahead and get a pen and paper. We'll do the whole write down thing because this is basically I ask you a question, you answer it. There is no multiple choice that I'm aware of that I've seen in this book so far, and we'll go from there. So the categories we're going to work with tonight, at least going forward, Michael, I'm going to let you choose one of these. We can go with books, video games, Star Trek, or science.
Oh Lord.
Oh, we lost Michael for a second.
Ooh. Oh, sorry. Am I here? Am I
go.
moving now?
Freezing every once in a while. No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Cool. I feel like I have a chance with Star Trek, but I know Anthony definitely has a chance with Star Trek.
And then Jeremy's gonna beat us all.
Okay, well, let's go Star Trek. We start maybe we'll redeem Discovery, maybe
Well, let me get to the page of Star Trek then. Okay. Boom. Star Trek.
Who is Spock's sister?
Ooh, these are going to be rough, guys. You may not know any of these.
I will refuse to answer that on principle.
Because the first question is going to be similar to that. All right, so let me get some nice jazz music going on for our trivia.
How many questions are we doing, by the way? I should be prepped.
We'll see.
4?
We'll do.
Okay,
I'll set
we'll
it.
see.
I'll set it at 5 and see how it goes.
Okay.
All right, guys. Here we go. Question 1, Star Trek, and this could be from any series. This could be from original, Deep Space Nine. Could be Voyager. Could be anything. This is straight up Star Trek. Okay. Hopefully, you're all familiar with Deep Space Nine. What's Quark's mother's
No.
name?
Oh.
What is Quark's mother's name?
It's like a really
Think about it. Write it down. You don't have to spell it correctly. You just have to say it correctly. All right, Anthony, we're going to start with you. What's Quark's mother's name?
it's like a weird it's like Buki or someone like that. It's like a really cheesy like a
I know what you're thinking of, but that's not right.
Okay.
Mookie, that's the.
That's
just
what-
they
that's
call-
what-
That's just
yeah.
what they call her. Yeah.
That's just what they call her. But what's her actual name?
Yeah, I don't know that.
It was only
Mookie?
mentioned like twice. We'll start with it. Jeremy, what you got?
I also didn't know. I
Okay.
wrote Mrs. Grandnigazek just because
Nice. And Michael, anything? Frozen Michael? Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry. Hi. I switched to my hotspot, so
there
my
we go.
internet was being weird.
Excellent.
All right, is it my turn?
Yep, what you got? You got an answer?
Okay. I have never seen Deep Space Nine,
Uh-oh.
so I said Corkette. So
if it were the original series, it probably would
There
have
you
been.
go. The correct
Right.
answer is Ishka. Ishka was
Oh,
Quark's
that's
mother's
right.
name.
my second choice,
Oh,
obviously.
That was your second choice.
Well, that's a very deep dive trivia question.
That was a deep dive. I gave it, give you a hard one.
Yeah, Prophet and Lace is one of my favorite episodes.
These are really specific, by the way, guys. So unless you're like,
There was.
okay, well, this is probably the easiest one on the page. What is the registry number for the USS Voyager?
Oh.
The first 3 letters are NCC. I'm not going to give you the rest of it. Registry for Voyager. What you got? We will start. You know, let's start with Jeremy. Let's see if he can just get it.
Not a huge Voyager fan.
But
Was it 2000?
The registry number? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
or are you asking what year the show came out?
No, in NCC 2000.
Okay, that's your guess. All right. Anthony.
I just put 1705.
Okay.
I don't know.
Michael.
There's only 4 ships between the Enterprise and Voyager.
I put 1. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan.
Wow.
I don't know why I picked this.
So far, everybody is 0 for 2. It's NCC 74656.
Again, my second choice. I should know by now.
All right.
Give
let's
us,
see if
give
we
us
can-
another one.
I
Give us
know.
another one.
I'm trying to find some like.
Let us
simple
continue
ones.
to fail.
These are extremely specific, guys. Like, okay, if you get this one, you get 10 points immediately.
Okay.
Okay, you get 10. What blood type is Spock? What blood type is Spock? Look, Anthony. Look at Anthony's face. He knows it. The look on Anthony's face right now is
At least we know
the
it's-
face of
yeah.
somebody who knows the answer to this question. So we're going to start with Anthony. What you got?
Besides green.
Besides green, yeah, obviously, but besides green.
So this is a guess.
Okay.
But I'm going to go O negative.
Okay. Michael, what's your guess?
Anthony almost said the ones I did, but I did not write down. I said AB negative.
Okay.
Who knows?
So we have, you said O negative and AB negative. Okay, Jeremy?
I remember an episode where this gets mentioned, but I was thinking it was something that isn't in humans, like G or something.
So
G
G.
for green.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give Michael and Anthony a point each because you got half of it right. You got the negative part right. It's actually
G negative.
T negative.
It's
Yeah. Wait. So I got the part that it's not in humans, right?
But you didn't
That
say
is
negative. You're
true.
just like,
That is
it's
true.
G for gangsta. That's all it is.
I feel like this is highly out of order.
It is. It's extremely rigged. Don't even worry about it. Okay. Wow. This is okay. Let me go to the next page of Star Trek because all those are really, really specific. Like, let me just go down just a couple. You don't have to answer these, but these are how specific these gets. Okay. Well, hang on. You might get this. You might get this. This is Star Trek Next Generation.
Finally.
Okay,
What I've watched.
we'll do Next Generation. What is the full name of Worf, son of Mog's son?
Oh god.
I know this one. I don't have to look at the answer. I know this one. It's a Worf's son's name. Let's just say it like it is. And what's his blood type? No, I'm just kidding. Blood type for 1 million points. Okay, give me another couple seconds. Think about it. What is Worf's son's name? Let's start with Anthony. What you got, bud?
Obviously, it's Alexander.
Okay, you got some of that.
And is it Oshenko?
I don't know, is it?
Okay, that's my guess.
Okay, Jeremy?
Roshenko. I think.
Roshenko. That's very
Michael?
close. That's
Now that everyone said the name, I'm like, now I know.
Now
but
you
I
know.
put Warp Jr. So.
Worf Jr. Nice. It is Alexander Roshenko. That is right.
Oshinko
Row
is
with
so
an R.
amazingly close.
That was close.
Like,
I'll
that
give
is
you. I'll give you that one.
basically-
I'll give you and Jeremy that one. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Making up rules.
We do.
That
You
is
see how I'm
so
writing? You
amazingly
see how I'm writing
close.
the scores down, right?
Yeah, it says Michael is winning everything,
I mean-
correct? Like that's how the score goes.
Roshinko is Russian,
Okay.
right? Oshinko is like an Irish guy. Not even close.
These are fun, right? Okay, we're going back.
Acid, let's change categories real quick. Let's change categories.
All right. Do you have a preference of the 4 that I mentioned?
Science.
Go to science. Are you sure? Because you know, if the Star Trek ones are that specific.
Are you calling me dumb? Because if you're calling me dumb,
Okay. All right, hang on.
'Cause I am.
We're going to 81. That's the page.
We're saying it, Anthony. You're dumb, and we don't want to do science.
We're gonna start with Anthony on this one.
oh no.
Big talk.
I'm gonna give. Oh Lord. Well, this one's technically multiple choice.
Technically.
Technically, it is. Which finger has the fastest growing fingernail?
Is that real? Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
I'm like looking at my fingernails.
Which
now.
finger has the fastest growing fingernail? I'm like looking at my fingers now. Like, is it true?
This
Like, I've
really-
got the answer. I'm like, is it true? It kind
like a
of
really
is. Now that I'm looking at it,
thing.
yeah. All right, Anthony, let's hear it. Let's hear the correct answer since he's not dumb.
I'm going pointer.
Okay.
I'm going
He's
pointer.
going pointer. All right, Jeremy, what you going with?
So is it not hand specific? It's just.
It's just finger specific.
I'll go middle finger.
Okay, Michael.
I'm also going pointer.
So 2 pointers in the middle. The answer is middle. Jeremy got that one.
Ooh.
I was gonna say left middle to be more specific.
You know, it's just yeah. It doesn't, yeah, it's not that. It's not that specific, Jeremy.
I
Did
thought
you
you were
know
just gonna
that,
say
Jeremy,
left
or
or
was that
right.
just a guess?
I had a vague idea of which one had
Oh.
more blood flow.
Okay.
So,
If I know this one, you all should know this one because I am dumb. Okay. What's the name of Neptune's largest moon?
Largest moon.
It is what you think it is. It's just because I mean, it is.
oh.
You should know. If I know this, you should know this. I knew it without looking, and I guessed.
I can only think of one moon. I can only think of one new moon name.
I'll start with
The
Jeremy
moon.
on this one. Yeah, the moon. It's called the moon.
I'm gonna feel real stupid.
Oh boy. Don't tell
Pluto.
me. What'd you say?
Pluto.
Okay, Michael.
Thank God I'm pretty, because I'm just gonna throw it out Neptunette just to go back to.
All right, and Anthony.
The only moon I can think of for Jupiter, Europa.
Wow.
Not Jupiter.
Neptune.
Neptune.
Oh, why did I think Jupiter?
Neptune. I just said that. What is the
Why did
name
I-
of
why did I think
Neptune's
Jupiter?
largest moon?
I could have swore you said Jupiter. Okay.
Would you like to re-guess?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Europa. Hold on. Neptune moon.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go Romulus.
Romulus. Okay, I like that guess. It is Triton.
Wow.
Gosh, guys, come on.
Thank God we're all pretty.
Y'all made me feel real smart right there.
Why did I
Which
think
one's farthest out?
Let's see.
It's been a while since I had astronomy.
Let's do 2 more because we got to wrap up here. We'll do 2 more.
Do you want to do science or you want to do something else?
What was the other category?
Let's just
again?
hit one from each from the other two. Was
Boom.
books and
Okay, we'll do another. We'll do one from books. Oh gosh. Okay. Ooh. Okay, here we go. What was Dan Brown's first published novel?
Oh, first published art.
First published novel.
I can't think of any other book.
Right?
Unfortunately, I know it.
Uh-oh. So that means we don't need to start with Jeremy.
It means I hate Dan Brown.
Does that
Does
mean
it?
you hate
Do our viewers?
My
do our
wife
viewers
would.
know the
My
answer?
wife would punch you. All right, let's start with Mychal this time.
The only like Dan Brown book I know is the Da Vinci Code, so
Okay.
that's where I'm going.
Anthony
Da Vinci Code is the only one I know.
and Jeremy.
Angels and Demons.
All of you are incorrect.
Hmm.
It is actually Digital Fortress.
Oh,
Of course, of course. It's
What?
a
I mean,
famous novel.
why wouldn't it be? Right?
A complete left turn.
Okay.
Do we still have people
complete
watching?
left turn. In fact, I'm going to go. We got one more question, and this one is category. I'm going to change it up. Is time travel.
Ooh.
Okay. So let's see. I'm just curious. All right, we're going to end with a good one. We're going to end with one everyone should know. How fast does the DeLorean have to go
oh.
to travel in time? This is from X-Men. I'm just kidding. Anthony,
It's 80 something.
No.
that's not the full answer. I'm going to need the full 80 something. Is not the full answer. I'm going to need the full answer.
Let's go 89.
Mychal,
88.
Jeremy,
88 miles an hour.
it's 88 miles an hour, guys.
There you go. 89 is
Jeremy
pretty
wins
close
this
to
game.
88.
Jeremy wins it all. He
Good
won.
job,
He wins
Jeremy.
he wins the DeLorean.
That was brutal.
This look. Hey, you sent me the book. Okay, you sent me this.
I know, but I had no idea what was in it. Those are
This is
highly...
insane. I haven't even opened the other one yet.
All right. Well, Mychal, thank you so much for coming and be on the show. It's been a delight to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope I don't get canceled after this.
Right. Exactly.
Do you want to shout out for your social media?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the fake Mychal, and I think Acid, you asked me why my name is that.
Yes.
So I could tell you. I thought it was really funny that celebrities had to put the real whatever their name is
Oh, yeah.
because. So I thought like if I ever got famous, I'd want to be the fake me because
There you go.
obviously social media is not real. So that's why I'm the fake Mychal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very well. Very good. All right.
Excellent.
Well, it's there.
Well, that was our show. We canceled everybody. I'm Anthony Denard, Jeremy Shepard, AcidTrain, Mychal. Thank you, everybody. That's all the time we have. See you around. I never know how to end this thing.